Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, Case's movie review, the 100th movie review coming up at 8 o'clock. It will be The Wizard of Oz. Before we get there, we will have the Q101 Fest keyword. We will launch that for the day, a chance to get the Minnesota Yacht Club and Riot Fest. But first, some breaking programming news with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. You enjoy the show in real time, and we love that right now at 101.1 on your radio and on iHeartRadio app, the Q101 app. You can listen on your desktop computer, Q101.com. You listen to the show in real time, and we love that. We love your interaction at 312-967-8300. You can also listen to it whenever you want on demand, the Brian and Kenzie Podcast. So a new announcement concerning the Brian and Kenzie Podcast, which is like gangbusters right now. Downloads are outstanding. We love it.
It actually is. It's great. It's going really well.
It's going really well. So we're doing new podcast feeds on the Brian and Kenzie Podcast. There's the Kenzie Crimes feed.
Woo!
By popular demand, people wanting to find these and re-listen to them and also go back. So basically, it's a detailed archive of Kenzie Crimes now available as a standalone podcast feed. Kenzie's Crimes we do Tuesdays at 8:20. Highlights the most disturbing crimes take place in and around Chicagoland. The Kenzie Crimes podcast feed now gives you a chance to revisit Kenzie's most eerie crimes, like the 2017 Delphi murders, to the rise and fall of the Irish-American mob like Dean O'Banion, which he did on St. Patrick's Day, which was really, really great. Love that whole historical thing there. So pretty cool news for Kenzie Crimes.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting. I love being able to go back to these stories and have it so easily accessible. If you've never heard Kenzie's Crimes before and you're just wondering what it's like, my most requested episode of all time was actually the Lane Bryant murders. And that is probably like a personal, it's weird to say favorite. Like obviously I never like when the crimes happen, but the story itself, the audio still makes still gives me goosebumps. It makes like the hair on my arm stand up, right? It's absolutely like the sum up of what Kenzie's Crimes is. If there's one that you want to check out, that's going to be available if you scroll down. Also something I want to highlight, because a lot of people who aren't even into crimes really have enjoyed the past 2 Octobers, because they are crimes that have led to hauntings in the Chicagoland area. And if that is your thing, if you are a spooky person and you missed some of those, maybe you're new here and you just recently started listening after October, all of those are going to be super easy to find. So there's going to be 2 Octobers worth of those hauntings that have led to crimes that are now on that feed and very easy to find.
The award-winning Kenzie's Crimes on the podcast feed, the Clio award-winning. And then the Case Classic Movie Review, also having a new podcast feed to coincide with the 100th movie review in just 6 minutes. We'll have that with The Wizard of Oz. Case takes on the classic movies, now has its own podcast feed from the beginnings, like Braveheart, great review, Roadhouse, Karate Kid, to his more recent reviews like Field of Dreams, Lord of the Rings, Selena, anything for Selenas. They are now housed on the Case Classic Movie Review podcast feed.
Yes, so on the Brian and Kenzie podcast feed, you will still get new episodes of Kenzie's Crimes and the movie reviews. Those are not going anywhere. Those are being uploaded just like they always have been and always will be. But for those that have been asking about the archives of both Kenzie's Crimes and my movie reviews, because I know sometimes it's hard to find because we upload so much, we now have our standalone feeds. There are links, by the way, to all of these podcast feeds on Q101's Facebook page. You can click the Apple link or the Spotify link right now on Q101's Facebook page for Brian and Kenzie, for Kenzie's Crimes, and for Case's Classic Movie Reviews, which is how it's found on those podcast feeds. If you're new here, maybe you haven't heard some of these podcasts. We did the Twister review 2 years ago. That's where we get the Jonas son of a bitch drop from. If you want the context behind that.
Son of a bitch.
It was our Twister review. There's a reason we still play that to this day. I love the Karate Kid review we did 2 years ago. I love the Teen Wolf review from last year. And I think my favorite one, the one that I would recommend everybody check out if they missed it in real time or if they want to go back to it, is the Rocky 3 review from last summer. I think that's my favorite one. And those are now all housed, all of them but the Shawshank Redemption, which unfortunately we don't have due to a recording error. But 98 other reviews and 99 coming up with The Wizard of Oz are housed on that podcast feed as well.
This is big news for the Brian and Kenzie podcast. We're already owning that world. Now we're expanding in that world and making it easier for you to find everything you hear on the show. By request, this stuff was happening. So that's why we're doing it, and we're stoked about it. So the Brian and Kenzie podcast, make sure the whole show is on there as well, by the way, so you can listen to it anytime you want.
Now is your chance to win a pair of one-day tickets to Riot Fest and qualify for this week's Fest trip to St. Paul to experience Minnesota Yacht Club. Message and data rates apply. Please don't text and drive.
The best fest is Fest Fest. Q101.
Well, here we go. One of the last chances to get a part of the Minnesota Yacht Club festival with Lumineers, Black Keys, Strokes, Cage the Elephant, and more. And you'll get one-day tickets to Riot Fest, your choice of the day. Text the word SWING, SWING, to 312-967-8300. SWING to 312-967-8300. You have an hour to do it. So if you're in the middle of something, like especially that problems on the Stevenson and Lakeshore Drive, you can wait a half hour even and get it in. It's not a race. Text SWING, SWING, to 312-967-8300.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Get your takeaways in, 312-967-8300. Something that was memorable to you on today's show, and actually it's Friday, so it can be any show this week. Something from the entire week that was very memorable to you. Hit us up with your takeaway, 312-967-8300. Go ahead and do that now as we get to the weekend Q101 to give you some ideas on what to do this weekend. Stuff going on in and around Chicagoland, and Case always starts with the music.
Well, we have to start with our locals who have a big show at Lincoln Hall tonight, an album release show for the guys in Football Head. I adore this band. I've got a pair of interviews with them up on Q101's YouTube channel, the A Case for interview series that I do. They played Riot Fest last year. They are earnestly and I think succeeding in the idea of bringing back the nu metal sound. So if you're into a Limp Bizkit, if you're into a Korn, if you're into something like that, I think you would really enjoy our guys in Football Head. Again, homecoming show tonight, Lincoln Hall, album release show. Still a few tickets left for that.
And that's why I love Football Head.
Because they sound like they're from 1999?
Your description, I love them. I love them a lot. I wish them a lot of love at that album release party tonight.
You should go. You're going to have a great time there.
Yeah. Lincoln Hall, I haven't been there in a minute. I should get over there.
Best sounding venue in the city. I recommend it. Now, I have seen Football Head plenty of times. I will be in Pilsen tonight for the band La Dispute at Thalia Hall. All-time great band. Sort of a screamo poetry concoction that I'm sure everybody here would love. So I'll be there in Pilsen tonight at Thalia Hall. But again, Football Head at Lincoln Hall tonight. A few tickets left for that. And a few tickets left tomorrow night for the Afghan Wigs making their return to Chicago at the Metro tomorrow night as well.
Oh, Afghan Wigs.
I know.
Oh, man. You go back to the early 90s and Debonair and Gentlemen, and they were billed on MTV and the college radio. They were, and Q101 for that matter, first year of Q101 pretty much right around that time. To be billed as going to be the biggest band in the world, and it just didn't turn out that way for them. They were very popular for that little run, and then they went away, and now they're coming back. That'd be a phenomenal show at the Metro to see tonight.
All right, let's go.
Kenzie, we're doing that too?
Yeah.
Let's go to both. Let's
Kenzie, hop on. Let's go to the Afghan Wigs tomorrow.
So Football Head tonight, Kenzie, and then Afghan Wigs tomorrow. You in?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you. I know it's Mother's Day weekend, but come on.
But you want to spend Mother's Day at the Metro with the Afghan Wigs.
I've been thinking about this. I'm like, where have the Afghan Wigs been?
Right?
It's been top of my mind.
Damn right. So good. We'll take you there.
All right.
I got a Mother's Day dinner. Get you a hot dog across the street at the Metro there.
Ooh,
I'd like to point out Brian's birthday gift still hasn't shown up for me, so maybe you could buy me that then.
The hot dog, that covers it cool because
Can
I don't
you
know
buy me a hot dog at least?
I don't know if these Selena pajamas are ever going to show up. I got to be honest. I paid for them. I stopped the credit card payment or dispute here if they don't come in the next couple of days.
Good. And I'll just take a gift card.
I wanted them by Selena's review on Case's movie reviews, and now, it's been a minute.
I mean, it's been a while. It's been, I think, 2 solid weeks, literally, since my birthday to the day.
Yeah, it was Independence Day. I remember it vividly, and we celebrated your birthday, and yeah.
And you bought these on Amazon.
I bought them through the actual Selena official website.
On Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
On Amazon.
On Amazon. Okay. And I'm not trying to be mean when I say
I'm
this.
sure you are, but go ahead.
No, I'm not trying to be. It might be mean, but I'm not trying to be mean. I've just never seen somebody struggle with Ubers and Amazon the way that you do. You always seem to have trouble with those two things.
Trouble finds me.
And it's
Trouble
usually
finds
my
me.
stuff.
Yes, it is.
What are you, a greaser? What do you mean trouble finds you?
I'm dangerous. And it does always relate to Kenzie, too, for some reason, these issues.
It's always my stuff. Like, he ordered our Uber food once, and remember it got lost?
I do.
Yeah. And then he ordered it. The only other time we let him do it, they brought the wrong food and it was horrible.
I do remember this.
Yeah. And then usually my birthday gifts the last couple of years haven't showed up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about it, to be honest. I don't know. I have no excuse. But karma, something I did in a past life maybe, I don't know.
Why? It's affecting me. You don't care if I have a birthday gift.
Maybe we were together in a past life somewhere and something happened really bad.
Well, I deserve this?
Yes. That's
Okay.
that's how I'm reading it going into the weekend.
Okay.
What do you
This
got?
must be my fault.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day. It's your fault.
I'm used to that.
You know the line of the great movie, Good Will Hunting, it's not your fault. No, Kenzie, it's your fault.
Kenzie, it's your fault.
It's your fault. It's your fault.
It's your fault.
What do you got for the weekend Q101?
Something really cool to do as a family, as a date night, any of that is at the Brookfield Zoo. They have their Glow Wild. They always do this at the spring equinox. It's really cool. It's a lantern festival of hope. And it's basically when the sun goes down, it transforms. They have beautiful lanterns. A lot of them are in the shapes of animals and stuff. And they do tell a story every single year, which is awesome. There's live music, obviously the lantern shows. There's other performances. There's cultural food, which is really fun from the different things being represented. And then if you get a ticket, again, if you're going as a date or as a family, both very fun. It includes the parking. It includes rides on the carousel and the Ferris wheel. Because as a parent, whenever I buy a ticket to something and we get there, they always want to do the one other thing that costs money, and it's super annoying. So the rides on these two things that your kids will want to do are included in the ticket, which is very nice. And this is the last weekend for it. It ends on the 10th.
Wow, cool. I'll go to Brookfield Zoo's website to get that taken care of. And tomorrow, you can join me. We've talked about the Story of the Year pop-up show, our next free pop-up. It's happening a week from tomorrow. That is Saturday, May 16th at the Cubby Bear. So tomorrow, I'll be at Metro by T-Mobile. I'm looking for my Addison people. Whoop. 611 West Lake Street, Addison. Join me out there from 1 to 3 p.m. I've got guaranteed entry tickets, which are very important for these pop-ups because the Cubby Bear is only so big. Story of the Year. That's going to be fantastic a week from Saturday. So I'll have guaranteed entry 1 to 3 p.m. at the Metro by T-Mobile in Addison, 611 West Lake. All the info at Q101.com in our events section. Every 15 minutes, I'll throw those out, plus other Q101 swag, all our good Q101 stuff. So tomorrow in Addison, I'll be there 1 to 3. Join me, hang out, and we'll get to your takeaways after Nirvana. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
My name is Megan Klingenberg. I was a professional soccer player for over 10 years, and like most players, I gotta be honest, I have some baggage when it comes to referees. I wanted to know, who are these refs? What kind of person gives up their weekend to call fouls and hand out cards? Why do they do it? So this time on the U.S. Soccer Podcast, I'm going to referee camp. The U.S. Soccer Podcast presented by Henkel. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Lauren's on her way and take you to the weekend. And a reminder, I'll be there in Addison tomorrow to see you at the Metro by T-Mobile on Lake Street. All the info at Q101.com for guaranteed entry passes to Story of the Year, the pop-up a week from tomorrow at the Cubby Bear. That'll be Saturday, May 16th, but I'll be in Addison tomorrow with those guaranteed entry passes. Now we get to your takeaways from the entire week of shows. 312-967-8300. Case, what do you got?
Takeaway from our friend John in Minnesota listening on the Q101 app. Kansas City is the London of the Midwest.
Yeah, people say it all the time.
That's what everybody's always said.
Always saying that. Kenzie, what do you got?
708's takeaway. But Your Honor, finders keepers.
Someone related finders keepers to Dorothy, too, in a text saying, Dorothy said, finders keepers, bitch.
It's a legally binding statement.
Your Honor.
Your Honor.
And finally, from 773, takeaway, when you were just somewhere, it means it was 9 years ago. When you were just
right.
somewhere. Yeah, just somewhere was 9 years ago.
I was just in high school.
What's on the podcast?
Well, on the Brian and Kenzie podcast, which the links to subscribe can be found on the Q101 Facebook page alongside the brand new Kenzie's Crimes and Cases Classic Movie Review podcast links. Kenzie's Crimes and my movie reviews will still be on the Brian and Kenzie podcast, but if you want the archives of those are now in their own separate podcast feeds. All the links to those are super easy to find on the Q101 Facebook page. Things you will see on the Brian and Kenzie podcast today. Kenzie's emotional plea to pet owners everywhere to change the names of their pets to something more sensible. We also ended Teachers Week in Clash with Kenzie in the most chaotic way possible. A controversial edition of Clash with Kenzie if there ever was one. And my 100th movie review this week, we did The Wizard of Oz. And I do not say this to compliment myself, as I would never do that. But the text line is saying this might be the best movie review we've done. My thoughts on The Wizard of Oz on the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
Remember, tomorrow, 8 to 10, it's our throwbacks, the funniest moments of the week, which some of these takeaways come from. And we will finish with this from 219, takeaway, as we say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and really hope you get a pampered, enjoyable weekend. Takeaway, a quote from Brian: "Thanks for listening, your mom's a whore."
Brian and Kenzie in the morning, and Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Hey, I'm Chris Van Vliet. Go behind the scenes and beyond the headlines with the biggest names in pro wrestling and beyond.
You could pop up in WWE tomorrow. Would Saraya be there or would Paige be there?
Paige, 100%.
So when you're setting up Logan Paul to frog splash you through the announce table, it's going through your mind.
This should make every headline in the world.
It makes sense, right? In Jelly Roll.
We knew we had that kind of a moment.
Mindset, motivation, and what it takes to succeed. Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.